Well, first of all, it was for me and my small office one of the first projects, and because it was built for our family, so I took a lot of freedom to spend a lot of hours to design. First of all, and I've always thought that I need to build on a slope, especially a south slope would be nice. So we finally found this property here. And then of course the challenge was that the property is very small, it's 520 square meters. And our family, it has 3 children. And then the challenge was really to make a building which is suitable from all sides. Functionally, with limited building rights, of course, for the small property, but then also suitable for the context. The context is really one of the key drivers for the design for me. And to find the essence of the context is something that I really thrive for. And in this case, of course, it was the close relationship to the forests. There are 2 forests nearby. One is on the south side and one is behind the house. And then the other big driver in the context here is the orientation towards the bay. The bay is there towards the southwest, towards the evening sun. Some people have called it a wooden crystal, for example, and this is exactly what we were aiming for. Something which is sitting on the natural slope of the terrain, but which is a sculptural timber building. Well, ORTRAUM, my small office, we're doing basically, we are now specializing. I think it's got something to also with this house, because I was looking for the right material and I came across CLT to be perfect. Because I like this idea about the element aspect of it. So it means that you get a sort of like a budget security about the material. Then of course I've been always fascinated with the timber. Then I discovered that it's also for the architect, it's a very, very pleasant material to work with, because you can customize really much using CLT. And that is also where a lot of hours went into this building, to research, to find out what is possible. I think for some reason when I design a building, it happens very quickly. It's something that in most cases, actually, the first idea is the best idea. That's how I work, but it takes a time for that idea to come. Well, sure, you can't be free from your architecture environment. As an architect, you're always looking for what's going on, but in my case, I really try to be as fresh as possible, so always think from scratch. What I've looked at, or what I remembered from my studies actually, was that how Mies van der Rohe has designed his single-family houses, and this was for me some inspiration of how to come into the house. Is that when we come to the house, we come from the back side, and we enter it from an upper floor, and then you have the choice to go up and down from there. So you come into the center of the house, and then from the back side of the slope, and then you get the view opening when you come in. And because I've worked so much with Chinese projects, I think this was one thing which has been an inspiration for me, because my mindset is so much in the Chinese world of architecture. And one very important thing what is different from the Chinese mentality and the European mentality is that you don't go directly to the main entrance in China. You always have to have a story to tell. You have to discover the house slowly. So in China they prefer to go around the house and then enter from the backside. And this is something also what happened here, so that when you walk around the house you will discover different kinds of angles and different kinds of characters of the architecture. One of the big reasons why I like the solid timber, the massive timber architecture so much, because it's simply the perfect answer to the climate crisis in the construction industry. What we've learned in the recent years is that you can easily build apartment buildings up to 8 or 10 or 12 floors using massive timber. You can replace all the unsustainable materials of concrete, and even you can avoid using insulation materials quite much, because what I've recently discovered is that the real massive, this is the really exciting thing, is when you start to use thick CLT plates, real massive timber walls. and just use that as the one and only material inside a building structure.